Good morning, everybody. Matt Modine here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We are talking Monday, August 11th. The Dong Report is back in your life. I absolutely love the Dong slate today, so I'm going to have 10 players on Dong Watch for you guys. I know that's a lot, but I really like the slate, and I didn't just want to try and not play guys just for the sake of having a lower card. So, going to play today pretty heavily. Let's hope that doesn't burn us. Of course, going to give you my 4 favorites if that's all you want to play. And then, of course, going to give you all 10 if you want to spray the board with me. As far as yesterday went, it was a decent day overall. It wasn't incredible. I was hoping to get one more player to hit a home run to really give ourselves a nice day. But we'll take any day we can get in the green. It had been a very rough 3 days prior to yesterday. So it was nice to just have a day in the green. Up 0.4 units. Thank you to Kerry Carpenter and Lennon Sosa for coming through with home runs for today. That brings our total profit on the year up 2.29 units. Obviously, that's not amazing by any means. Up 1.85% ROI. Obviously, that's not amazing by any means, but I really do think I found something with spraying the board and targeting games that I really like from a home run perspective. So that is exactly what we are doing for tonight. Really good weather, which is why you see me loving the slate. Fantastic weather at the Athletic Stadium. Fantastic weather in the White Sox Stadium. Fantastic weather in the Brewers Stadium. I don't have anything in these next two, the Reds and the Angels. Fantastic weather there. And then it's good at Yankees Stadium as well, especially for a lefty, that short right field porch. So very confident it's going to be a great day for us. Mostly agreement from Weather Edge and Ballpark Pal as well in terms of the weather. They both like the Reds game. The Weather Edge likes the Yankees game not as much, but they still have it in the green. Same thing for the White Sox. And then none of the other games are on here. The Brewers game doesn't show up on Weather Edge because they sometimes play in a retractable roof. But if they have the roof open, it's fantastic hitting weather. And, temperature in the 80s with high humidity. Maybe they'll close the roof, but hopefully not. Regardless, I love the slate today. We can get right into it. So I'm going to have 4 plays in the White Sox and the Tigers game. So I'm just going to talk about all 4 of them at the same time. On the Tiger side, it's Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green. On the White Sox side, it's Colson Montgomery and Lennon Sosa. Now, yes, all 4 of these players hit a home run yesterday. Honestly, I don't care. With weather as good as it is, with matchups as good as they have, I'm just going to keep riding with them. So Riley Green, the thing with him is he had not been hitting that well up until yesterday. And he kind of is a player that can go on these home run binges. But he had 3 hard hits yesterday. And you see all 3 of them were literally the 3 fastest hits of the game, right? All 3 of them, Riley Green, 112, 110, 107. That is very impressive. We see he had a home run that was 359 feet. Then he had one that was hit even farther than that, 377 feet. That wasn't a home run, just based on where it was hit. But that's incredibly impressive. And then you look at Kerry, a.k.a. Barry Carpenter. Since he returned from that hamstring injury, he actually returned on the 28th. Didn't have a good day on the 28th. Starting on the 29th, he's been fantastic. Now, you can't look at the total numbers for him because he doesn't play every single day and he'll get pinch hit if it's a close game and the team puts in a lefty. But 19% barrel rate, 2/3 of the time he has a hard hit. That launch angle is fantastic. You look at the batted balls, you can't really tell because this is going to take a lot of load. But the pull rate is 62%, and the fly ball rate is above 50%. Now, the pitching matchup for these two guys, Elvis Peguero, he's more of an opener than anything. So I'm not 100% sure what the pitching matchup is going to be like. But last time we had a bullpen game, they played Barry throughout that game, so I'm not scared of him getting pinch hit or anything like that. And with the way that they've both been hitting, I think they're both worth taking. Ballpark Pal really likes the this game in general. Kerry, he's actually 310 at Fanatics is the best offer price. That of one on FanDuel is no longer available. And then Colson Montgomery is plus 500 at both Fanatics and ESPN Bet. Riley Green is plus 390 at FanDuel. And then Lennon Sosa is 520 at Fanatics. Those are all 4 of the prices. So that is the logic with the 2 Tigers guys. Of these, Riley Green and Colson Montgomery are 2 of my favorites. So if you just want to take the 4 favorites, take Riley Green, take Colson Montgomery. These 2 guys in the White Sox are both fantastic. You look at them over the last 2 weeks, 19 hard hits, 5 barrels for Lenyn Sosa, 17 hard hits, 6 barrels for Colson Montgomery. They've both been fantastic. They both had good days at the plate yesterday. You want to look at their days they had yesterday. Lenyn Sosa had 3 hard hits. Where is he? Lenyn Sosa had 3 hard hits, and Colson Montgomery had 2. Now, again, they both hit home runs. I don't really care. Colson Montgomery's been on fire. He's worth taking as soon as he cools off, then we'll stop. But he's been fantastic. And then the pitching matchup, they both go up against Chris Paddock. The Padlock, more so, gives up a ton of home runs, giving up 24 on the year, or every 24 at-bats, but to lefties, it's under every 20 at-bats. I don't really care that he's on a new team. He's definitely not a pitcher that I am scared of by any means. And Ballpark Pal, they like the matchup better for Sosa, but they like the EV a lot for Colson Montgomery. And they have his true odds at plus 341. We're getting him at plus 500. So I love all 4 of those guys, but again, the 2 that I am taking as my favorites were Riley Green and Colson Montgomery. Next up, we have 3 players in the Rays versus Athletics game. It's Tyler Soderstrom, it's Shea Bangaliers, and it's Junior Caminero. And Soderstrom is also one of my, I think I said 3, it's one of my 4 favorites is what I meant. So it's Riley Green, Colson Montgomery, and now Tyler Soderstrom. Fantastic weather in this one. The temperature, it's going to be in the 90s when the game starts. Going to be double-digit winds blowing out. The barometric pressure is low, which is going to help with carry. It's just fantastic weather. So the 2 guys on the what are we looking at? The Athletics are going up against Pepe Le Pew, Ryan Pepio, who is not a terrible pitcher overall, but he's been worse as the season has gone on. He's gotten worse. He's allowed a home run every 20 at-bats on the year. Now, he's one of those pitchers that is slightly worse against righties, which helps Bangaliers more than it helps Soderbaum. But it's not like he's bad against, or it's not like he's a scary matchup for lefties, right? Home run under every 25 at-bats for left-handed hitters. You look at his last 6 weeks. He's been much worse. Home run allowed every 19 at-bats to lefties, every 12 at-bats to righties. So you just look at the totality of that. Home run allowed every under 15 at-bats is terrible. That's disgusting. And you look at the guys on the Athletics, they're hitting pretty well. Now, Bangaliers is fantastic recently. 18 hard hits, 4 barrels over the last 14 days. We look at him over the last week. All 4 of those barrels have been hit over the last week. Soderbaum has been hitting the ball hard. He hasn't quite been doing a great job at barreling it up, but he just went back-to-back just a couple days ago. He had 2 hard hits yesterday as well. Actually, no, excuse me. He had the day off yesterday. He had the day off yesterday. So you look at this game. Bangaliers played, didn't have a great day, but that's okay. He had, I think, 2 home runs the day before that. And then Soderbaum had the day off. He came in and pinch hit and got walked. So didn't really do anything. But the way that they've been hitting in the matchup that they have, I like both of them. And then Caminero is kind of similar logic. So like you look at Caminero over the last week, 9 hard hits, 3 barrels is very good. And you look at the last 14 days, 25 hard hits, 6 barrels is fantastic. So he's a little bit hotter like the second half of the last 2 weeks, but even the last 7 days has still been good. He was who I was thinking of. He had 2 hard hits yesterday. Didn't really do anything with them, but I think he hit like 4 home runs in the last 3 games. So we can kind of forgive that. But he had the 2 hard hits yesterday. Nobody really did anything on the Rays, but he had the 2 hard hits. None of them were that impressive. 100 or 98 miles an hour off the bat, 14-degree launch angle isn't terrible. Then he had a ground out that was annihilated, but it was a ground out. He's going up against Jeffrey Springs, who's a lefty. And Caminero, his splits against lefties aren't honestly as good as you would expect for how good he is. But Jeffrey Springs is not a pitcher to be scared of. You look at him on the year. Well, over the last 6 weeks, home run allowed every 18 at-bats, every 18 to righties and lefties. He's kind of equally bad. You look at him on the year, just to kind of give yourselves a bigger sample size. Home run every 20 at-bats to righties, 22 at-bats on the year. Nothing really scary about the matchup. What I do like is that Caminero does hit the pitch mix pretty well from Jeffrey Springs. It's really just the forcing. I mean, honestly, the top 3 pitches get hit pretty hard. But you look at Caminero, last month he's been hitting lefties really hard. I mean, 18% barrel rate, 54% hard hit rate is fantastic. 455 ISO rate is fantastic. You look at the pitch mix that he's going to see, and he's got pretty good numbers against that pitch mix from lefties. Not really good. Actually, he just strikes out a lot, which is what I was thinking of. But I mean, the fly ball rate, hard hit rate, barrel rate, ISO rate, all fantastic against that pitch mix from lefties, which is what he's going to be facing. So I forgot to give you guys the odds on them. Soderbaum plus 475 at Bet365. Another one that Ballpark Pal loves. They have his true odds at 292. Bangaliers 265 at FanDuel, and Caminero is 290 at Fanatics. Ballpark Pal doesn't like those last two as much, but the way they've been hitting the baseball, I still went with them. And then next up, I have one play in the Yankees game, Cody Clemens. I'm taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 360 at FanDuel. That's the best offered price, slightly positive EV according to Ballpark Pal. And he is the last of my four favorites, is Cody Clemens. He has actually been hitting the ball very, very hard recently. You look at all of baseball, and you look at total hard hits. Cody Clemens is fifth in the entire MLB with 22. 4 barrels in that stretch is acceptable. You look at the last week, he is leading the MLB, or he's tied, I should say, with Michael Harris with the most hard hits with 13 over the last 7 days is very, very good. Now, you would want that fly ball rate to be higher, but at least he's also hitting a decent amount of line drives. And the pull rate at 40% is very important when you think of the weather. Or the stadium, I should say. Yankee Stadium got that tiny right field porch, right? Very, very short. I mean, 315 at the foul pole. Anything hit to basically center field to right field doesn't need to be hit as far to be a home run. And you see like why it's so highly rated for a home run, especially today. Clemens has been fantastic. That's why that pull rate is important. And the pitcher is going up against Will Warren. Struggles against lefties. Home run allowed on the year, every 37 at-bats, down to 24 against lefties. But you look at him, again, we'll go last 6 weeks here. Every 15 at-bats to lefties with really, really, really bad numbers across the board. I mean, barrel rate, almost 13%. The hard hit rate is low. I'll give him that. The fly ball and line drive rate is relatively high, kind of. But the biggest thing is that K rate is low. So the hard hit rate is low, but the K rate is low, which is always going to bring that percentage down. And Cody Clemens has been good. He can hit the four-seam fastball well, which is what he's going to see over half the time. That's the home run, kind of the home run pitch for Will Warren, kind of not. But I like Cody Clemens a lot. And then my last two plays are both in the Brewers game. It's William Contreras and Andrew Vaughn. Really what we're doing here, we're rocking with two pretty hot batters when you look at the last 14 days. You look at hard hits, Contreras leads the MLB, 26 hard hits, 6 barrels over the last 2 weeks. And then Andrew Vaughn is not far behind him with 23 hard hits and 5 barrels. Now, over the last week, they admittedly have cooled down a little bit. 7 hard hits, a barrel for Andrew Vaughn, 6 hard hits, a barrel for William Contreras. Granted, this doesn't take into account yesterday. The odds or the stats haven't pulled yet for yesterday because Contreras had 2 home runs yesterday, and they were both hit very, very hard. So, and Vaughn, I think, had 1 hard hit yesterday. But the biggest thing for them, again, this weather's fantastic at 27% home run edge, and we're fading the pitcher of the Pirates that they're facing. Andrew Heaney is pitching, and he has just been getting annihilated recently. Over the last 6 weeks, home run allowed every 14 and a half at-bats. Now, he's actually been worse against left-handed hitters. He's a lefty who's actually been worse against lefties, but against righties, still very, very bad with a ton of red across the board. And you want to look at who has been hitting lefties very hard. It's actually more so Contreras over the last month. He's just annihilated left-handed pitching. You look at the last 2 months, it's not quite as good, but still pretty good against left-handed pitching. Vaughn hasn't had as much success against lefties. It's really just the barrel rate. The hard hit rate is pretty good. But the matchup is so good against Andrew Heaney that I think both are worth taking. I mean, plus 10 extreme advantage for Contreras, plus 9 extreme advantage for Andrew Vaughn. The odds on them are not as stinky as you would expect. The best offer price on Vaughn is $390 at DraftKings, and the best offer price on Contreras is $410 at Fanatics. Now, Ballpark Pal loves a lot of players in this game. I couldn't really get down with a lot of them because it's lefty on lefty for a lot of these guys. And Isaac Collins, granted, I think he did just have the walk-off yesterday. Not nearly as good of recent form as the other two guys. Actually, Isaac Collins actually has been better, but maybe he's a lefty. There's something that I didn't like about Isaac Collins. No, he'll be batting righty. So Isaac Collins is also a good look. I don't know what held me off of him in the first place. But the official plays, I'm just going to go with Andrew Vaughn and William Contreras. And that's all we got. So I'll do a recap and then we'll get on out of here. I know that it was a loaded show with a ton of dongs that we're talking about. Top 4 favorites: Riley Green, Colson Montgomery, Tyler Soderstrom, and Cody Clemens. And then rounding out everybody else is Kerry Carpenter, Lennon Sosa, Junior Caminero, Shea Bangaliers, William Contreras, and Andrew Vaughn. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Ballpark Pal. Put a link to them. You can kind of see how I use them. I also put a link to my Tails account, which is just where I send every play out for those of you that want to lock stuff in but don't want to watch the YouTube videos. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.